Welcome to Out of the World, and in this special episode I'll take you on a road trip to some of the most beautiful countries in Europe. We just crossed the border from Germany into Poland and we're in a little village called Jelenia Góra, where we're staying in an old caravan. I'll show you. Ta-da! This is only the second part of a road trip through 8 countries. And in the previous episode you saw some hidden treasures in Germany. The first stop was a medieval town in Niedersachsen, and then we explored the raw nature of Saxon Switzerland at a rock formation called the Bastei. But we move on. There's an incredible road trip all the way through Europe waiting for us, for as much as we can. We go to Poland. I'll see you there. We cross the border into Poland, where we pick up the adventure. Poland is a woodland-rich country, with roughly a third being dense forest, so we immediately become one with nature. And so this is camping in Poland now. We've got a tent with us, but outside we have some sad weather. So we have as alternative this little caravan. Wow. It's old school, guys. Exactly what my grandma's caravan looked like. Jensie, it's sleepy time. Instead of a handstand. And how cozy is the porch where we prepare dinner? We pay only 20 euros a night here. Jensie! Camping life! The next day we head out into the woods and drive about 45 minutes into a mixed mountain forest with huge pines and maple trees. The main reason to book the campsite was because it's surrounded by a beautiful area called Rudawy Januszki. But we didn't know the weather would be a little bit off today, so I'm not sure if I'm able to fly the drone, and I'm gonna put on a jacket because it's kind of chilly. Jens, are we gonna go and jump in the puddles? What are they? A bunch of pussies, right? That Jens and that Suus? It's such supreme weather for walking. That's why I'm hiking to the colored lake that I am checking. The Kolorowe Jeziorka. As in my best Polish that I don't speak. But yeah, what a wonderful nature piece, check that. This one is called the Yellow Lake. And this here is the Purple Lake. In the middle of the forest I find this woodland oasis. The purple is actually more of a rusty red color and it's the result of the historic mining industry. In the water are iron compounds and sulfates. the end, we actually walk in some 10 minutes. There I find this picture perfect place, though it's raining. And these are the colored lakes, also called Kolorowe Jeziorka. It's amazing. Time to drive on east to continue our road trip along hidden gems across Europe, with the next stop being Opole. Fun fact, all-time top scorer in FIFA World Cup history, Miroslav Klose was born here. And from the outside it might have a bit of a Soviet look, but hey, the hotel room is better than expected. Although Jens has made a big mess of it. Jens? Where is he? Oh, there in the closet. Over here we pay 30 euros a night. One of the reasons to make a short stop in the little town of Opole is the famous zoo that they have. It's one of the best in Poland and it's even one of the best in Europe because it's situated on a peninsula in a lush green area. So let's check it. Let's go and see some animals, Jens. Woo! We can see right away that this is more of a playground for animals rather than a zoo. I can tell you that I've never seen animals so active anywhere in the world. And this is also the first time that we ever saw a giant anteater. Such incredible creatures.
Psst, Jens, no need to look in the cage, bro. There's a ring-tailed lemur right behind you.
We discovered that many animals here can just decide to go outside their enclosures and walk around. Apart from some very odd and rare species of animals, there's even more that makes the Opole Zoo very special. It was built on the Bolko Island and the Bolko Island flooded in 1997, destroying the entire zoo. So they had to rebuild it and that gave them the chance to build the most modern one in all of Poland and one of the most modern zoos in Europe. They have 1,500 animals over here and it's a natural environment that gives you that jungle vibe. So it's like we're watching the animals in the wild. Let's go.
Is this the last time I can see you in a while? Is it the truth that you'll be living tonight? We should take a walk, then a swim in the sea. That will mean everything, yeah, everything to me. Can we get out of this one? Waiting and missing.
There are many local animals here, like the moose and the Eurasian lynx.
We can get out of this one. A tunnel of feelings, just like we got through everything.
Opole is specialized in breeding cats and has the most diverse collection in Poland.
Honey, this is in no way funny. We will find our way back together. But right now, there's stormy weather. I see a tear begins to fall from your eyes. It is the truth that you
As we walk from Africa to Australia, we do an entire world trip in one day.
be there with you, even when you are alone. And I'll be waiting here when you come home. Can we get out of this one? Waiting and missing. I never thought you would be here. We can get out of this one. A tunnel of feelings, and just like we got through everything else. But I see you, honey.
We're roughly halfway through the peninsula, and it is quite huge, bigger than Blijdorp, I must say. And the spaces of the animals are quite gigantic, but still you see every animal. It's really a free roaming zoo, more of a safari park. Yeah, it's cool, huh?
Can we get out of this one? Waiting and missing. I never thought
These red-ruffed lemurs seem to have the time of their lives here.
we can get out of this one. A tunnel of feelings, just like we got through everything else. But I see you, honey. This is in no way funny. We will find our way back together. But right now, there's stormy weather. But right now, there's stormy weather.
Who would have thought that my favorite part of Poland turned out to be a zoo? Now, without kidding, there's gonna be more spectacular stuff going on in Poland, but this zoo is one of my favorites so far, which I've visited in my life, because the animals roam around so freely and they have so many different ones in large cages, so you don't have to feel sad for them as well. It's like a safari park. They have a lot of big cats, they have a lot of primates, and I like all the peculiar animals that you don't get to see in all the other zoos. So from here, we walk in towards the exit, see some more animals, and then head on to the next adventure in Poland. Let's go, guys.
With only few visitors today, we are still amazed how active all the animals are. So unless someone is feeding them steroids, this must be the happiest zoo in history. In Opole Center we go for a meal.
Jens, gaan we lekker pizza eten?
Die pizza of die?
Jens.
You know what size pizza this is?
Thank you.
Yes, this was actually a medium pizza.
Cheers.
that's it for this small but very interesting part of Poland over here in the west. We saw some nice forest, a lot of beautiful animals, and now it's time to drive over to the east. And over there we find one of the best cities, which is Kraków. I'll see you there.
Road trips can be exhausting, as Suus is happy to demonstrate here. On the way to Kraków is Auschwitz, the concentration camp that I've visited twice and I think is a heavy but important must-visit in Poland. We arrive in Kraków. We seriously only paid 16 euros a night, looking out on the old city walls. In the coming days we are going to explore the best city in Poland for culture, architecture and history.
Yes, we arrived here in Kraków. It's only 2 hours driving from Opole, and as you can see, I almost made it to the old center. Our hotel is on the rim of the old center, right on the super location. But one of the greatest problems here in Kraków is difficult parking. So Suus and Jens are in the hotel, and I found some paid parking on some 600 meters only. So, a castle, isn't it? Wow, guys, this is the best. In the middle of Kraków, folks, we're gonna run this place for sure. Let's do this. Jens, you like this one? Balcony with a view.
Jens has a survival stash in case we run out of food.
This is fantastic, guys. And over there is a palace that we can see.
We take a stroll into the city and immediately feel the historic atmosphere.
Like I said, guys, we literally only have to walk out the door and we're here in the old center of Kraków, one of the true highlights when you're visiting Poland. This is the central market square called Rynek Główny. And this is also the perfect start if you want a taste of Kraków.
We enjoy some sleep first before exploring Kraków deeper.
I'm excited, guys. We're gonna make a nice walk around the city of Kraków, and we start just outside of the city center because over here we find one of the highlights, which is on this side we have the river Wisła, the one that flows through Kraków, and on that side we have the royal castle of Wawel. And it also has a beautiful cathedral, so let's go and explore.
There's a fire-breathing dragon too.
The Wawel Castle is without a doubt the most important place in Poland's history. This part of Poland, Kraków, was built in the year 1000, and it's from that time that all the Polish kings had their thrones here. It was occupied for quite some time by Austria, from the year 1600 on to the Second World War. But again, after that, this is the place where all the presidents ruled the country. In the middle is an old cathedral that's 900 years old and the inside is gorgeous. So let's go and discover the castle.
High above the river on a limestone hill, this is the symbol of Poland's identity. Inside the fortress exterior is an Italian-inspired Renaissance courtyard. The Wawel Cathedral is a maze of marble and gold, and it is considered the purest Renaissance building outside of Italy. But there is more.
This is looking very medieval actually. I'm gonna climb these stairs for a bit.
Since 1521, the Sigismund Tower has been the voice of Poland, holding a 13,000 kilogram bell.
When this bell goes off and I happen to stand here, well, I think then my ears will give out because there are 5 of these units the way over here, but this is the big one. And this is the view out here.
It takes 12 bell ringers, by the way, to swing this bell. In the basement of the castle are the royal tombs, where 20 Polish kings and national heroes were buried. Let's take a look at the Wawel Castle from the sky. The scale of this complex is breathtaking. 25 meters above the river is this 6 hectares massive stronghold. And the bell we just saw can be heard in a 30-kilometer radius.
Honestly, I think you need a couple of hours to properly visit the Wawel Castle. And from here I'm walking through Grażyna Park straight towards the old center and the old gates to see more highlights. So how is it hanging today, guys? Huh? Polish, I don't get it.
This is St. Andrew's, a rare survivor from the 11th century. Its thick Romanesque walls look exactly as they did 1,000 years ago. It's a literal time capsule because the church is the only building tough enough to survive the Mongol invasions in the 13th century.
And only a couple dozen meters next to that, we will find the next highlight of Kraków. And this is the oldest building in the Baroque style of this town and even entire Poland, the Peter and Paul's Church.
This church is famous for its magnificent facade, guarded by statues of the 12 apostles. I crossed the Bernatek footbridge, surrounded by hundreds of love locks left by couples from all over the world, and also the famous balancing statues. On the other side is another special site from World War II. This is Podgorce, a ghetto during wartime and the location of Oskar Schindler's factory. They made metal pans here, but really it was a cover to save more than 1,000 Jewish lives.
In the middle of the old town we find the top site of Kraków. And that's this marketplace, Rynek Główny. Surrounding it are dozens of other beautiful sites, and the square itself is the largest medieval square in Europe, coming from 1300.
This square has been the beating heart of Kraków for centuries. It's where you find local life, the best restaurants, and, well, to be honest, Jens is here for the pigeons.
My mind is wide and aching at the core. Do we ever love?
They also call this the Klipklop Square, with all the horse carriages tapping their feet on the cobblestones.
Why we keep falling through air.
From the sky we can see exactly how big this historic square is, with all the classic buildings.
All the way. Why we keep waiting for eons, like time's been frozen, never too late.
Like I said before, there are multiple sites here. Like the building on this side, which is the Town Hall Tower that's crooked by half a meter because of a storm in 1700. And on this side, the Renaissance building is called the Cloth Hall.
Come to me, how do I compare? 'Cause this is our chance, the one we waited for. If you take my lead, it's you that
The Town Hall Tower was the only remaining part when the original medieval City Hall was demolished in 1820.
trust in.
And the Cloth Hall is a marketplace where traditional Polish crafts and clothes are sold.
Keep falling.
And last but not least, we have the church called the St. Mary's Basilisk. This one also has a funny story, because you will hear that the music will stop playing right in the middle, as an ode to the original trumpet player who wrote the song but was shot in the neck when he was on the lookout by Mongolians. Not so funny story for him though.
Let's spin around and run back through the gate. let's go together.
The stunning church with the two mismatched towers is considered one of the greatest artistic treasures in Europe. Oh, and we're just in time to hear the trumpet music suddenly stop.
Starting in the south, I now made my way all the way up to the north side of the old city. And over there we find Florian's Gate, a beautiful watchtower that was built to protect the city against the Turkish Empire, one of 8 gates in total. This is my favorite one because of the beautiful Gothic tower. Just look at it.
Your soothing touch is everything I make a want. All that is you and me, nothing more than a fantasy. So won't you stay here, if only for a while, where we will be free. Just you and me. We will be together forever.
On the north side of town, we also find the most iconic city walls and the best streets for small local pubs.
Because if there is still one thing that you cannot skip here in Krakow, then it will be these half liters, because the terraces here, guys, are fantastic. Cheers for Krakow.
No secrets to be told. On the top of mountainside, where the earth meets the sky, take us there to the edges of the world, where we will be free. Just you and me.
Time for the evening session. The family's back to join us, and we go and look for something in the town, something traditionally Polish for us to eat. Because yeah, Krakow is very famous for the very nice restaurants they got. Now we are lucky with some traditional Polish dinner, and this is the czarna koczka, and this means the black duck. And that's exactly what we're about to eat. And life could be better, guys. Beer's a good price. Cheers. I have a typical Polish hunter stew with veal and sauerkraut served inside a bread. Super nice. And these pierogi, sort of pastries.
And I have a typical Polish chicken stew.
Nice. And Jens?
Spaghetti.
Oh, also typical Polish, isn't it? Good. I guess I'm drinking alone. Kind of a Polish super heavy drink, plum liquor. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's been ages, but it kinda feels the same.
The city trip in Krakow is done, and we're driving on through Poland. And in the following one you will see us relaxing in the sunshine, camping in Zakopane. I'll see you there.
No matter how hard I try, I cannot get you out of my system. I know we both are something
We're on the road again and definitely wanted to show you the fantastic route through the mountain land.
Make you change your mind. Yeah, I know that it's over, but can we stay here for a while until everything's alright again? That's cool with you, cool with you, cool with you. 'Cause that's cool with me, cool with me, cool with me. Is that cool with you, cool?
We stay at Camp Villa Skocek for only 20 euros. And this is the campsite with the best view on the Tatra Mountains.
Maybe I am selfish, 'cause I want you to myself. Yeah, I know your
We
friends
used this
are
tent at the first stop and it's a blow-up tent, so it should be fairly easy actually. But I also found out there's an even easier way without pumping, and that's actually the easiest. I recommend everyone. That is just this. Whoa! This is chill, isn't it? It's a magic tent. No, seriously, the blow-up tent, guys, ideal. I think it took 20 minutes to half an hour of pumping and it stands.
Time to explore Zakopane, also known as the winter capital of Poland.
On some 2 hours drive of Kraków, we find the most popular place in all of Poland. At least, that's what I think by just looking around me. We're finally in Zakopane. You can do winter sport here, mountain climbing, or just a nice summer holiday too. And it is, as you can see, pretty crowded.
The center is full of wooden villas built in the unique Zakopane style. We wander around on the cobblestones of Krupówski Street. In the winter swamped by skiers and snowboarders, now by kids eating ice cream. This is the national hero Zamoyski, who claimed this land for Poland and protected this area's nature against exploitation. He donated his estate and his fortune to found the Tatra National Park. The Wolaszowy Potok is a small river straight through town. It provides the town with fresh mountain water.
Hey Jens, what's this? Yummy? Or is this yummy?
Zakopane is also the perfect place to dine out on the terraces, and we find daily specials for only 10 euros.
A very good morning. It is only 7. And I am up early for a lovely hike I'm making today. Susie and Jens still sleep some more. And I'm gonna go to Morski Oko, the top side here in the mountains. And gotta love the morning.
From Zakopane, I drive straight into the lush nature. In only 40 minutes, this road takes me to the start of the best hike in all of Poland, to a beautiful hidden mountain lake.
Oh, I was up so early today, man. And it's actually crowded. Many people are in the line for a parking spot, as you see. And I found my parking in Slovakia. Just across from this bridge here. Oh, pretty fun to see Slovakia for a change.
The Tatra Mountains are the national border between Poland and Slovakia, so there are hikes and sights in both countries.
The hike to Morski Oko is practically straight on. And it's pretty busy, as you see. There's already many on the way. It's roughly 18 kilometers there and back. And I hope it will take me 4 hours to do there and back. The best weather, and I have a fantastic view, check. before I forget, you can also, if you're really a lazy bum, take the painless way to up there. Because the whole way is actually paved, and these will take you all the way. But I think I have perfectly good legs, so no problem, let's go up. As the ancient old saying goes, there are more ways to Morski Oko Lake. Because I find everywhere these shortcuts going up. It can be truly steep, but you don't need to take all the hairpin bends around. So it's a more lovely route, and at the same time, only shorter, but heavy. Whew.
Seeing the images, I still remember the smell of pines, wildflowers and idyllic waterfalls hidden inside the woods.
I am there, guys, at the promised land, water. Morski Oko. It took me like 1.5 hours, so I walked pretty fast. But that's because I'm super fit. No, seriously guys, this hike is not heavy and you'll be there like within 2 hours for sure. And it is like breathtaking gorgeous. And also because I'm pretty fast, I have some time left to make some images of it. Swimming here is off limits, but the water is clear, guys. Really fantastic, beautiful. And you see the sunshine crossing the mountaintops. And this is what you're looking out of. Again, fantastic.
Morski Oko means Eye of the Sea, because people used to believe it was connected to the Adriatic Sea underground. There are a lot of trouts in the water, which is pretty unique at 1400 meters height.
And seriously guys, this is actually the most gorgeous place in Poland, I guess. The sun is just above the mountains now, and the water is the clearest I've seen. Let's take a walk around to see more.
And there I sit along the lake. Because I'm early, there's still no one here, except for the dramatic peaks of the Tatra Mountains. This one is called Risi, and it's the highest mountain of Poland, with 2500 meters. We also see Czarny Staw, a 200 meter higher lake with a deep blue color. So this is how beautiful the lake and the hike to Morski Oko are in the summer. But I can imagine it would also look very beautiful when it's completely frozen in the wintertime. Well, I can actually show you.
It's a funny thing, guys. I got some more images of this exact same landscape as in a Christmas setting, because we're now here in April and there's a lot of snow around me. I visited this place twice, so I wanted to show you this with snow.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high.
I see all the same places, but this time in deep white snow and a temperature difference of about 20 degrees. And still you see some of my stubborn friends are wearing shorts at -2 degrees Celsius.
Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory.
Not only do we have the beautiful snowy setting, but also I returned to Lake Morski Oko, and now we can walk across the lake, not just around it, but I'm actually standing right in the middle on the ice of the lake. Look at this. How awesome is that, guys? This is the lake.
Beneath an endless night, the world spins around. You're there, ease my
We don't have the beautiful colors of the lake anymore, but now we only have snow and you don't even see where the land ends and the water begins. So you decide, guys, which is prettier of the views? The one in the summer or the one in the winter?
As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. As the leaves change color.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm freezing over here. Let's take the magic portal back to summer.
There's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter.
I'm glad we're back here in summer. It is nice and warm again.
This is the season of love. Maybe this is the season of love.
I am lucky to walk this beautiful route 4 times in total, and as you can see, it pays off to go early. The route can get very busy later on.
Look, this is an even nicer route still.
We make a quick stop at the supermarket, cause it's time to enjoy some camping life.
Stars fly across the sky into a black night. It makes me wonder as I look in your eyes. Am I falling under your spell? Earth moving beneath my feet, sky falling down on me. I wanna believe in miracles, in things I've never seen. Is it real?
Sleeping out here is a sight on its own. Let me show you the views of the area with the drone.
Is it foolish to believe that we are over when we just begun? I can't help it, this feeling, trying to figure this out. Is it wishful thinking?
With the clear sky, we can see the entire mountain range. The best travel time here is, as you can imagine, all year round. Winter sport is huge here from December to March, and from June to September is the best hiking season.
Oceans rise and mountains fall. In the end, so will us all. I wanna know the mystery. What's making me fall? Is it wishful thinking that the best is yet to come? Is it foolish to...
The mountain people here are called Górale, and they speak in a different Polish dialect. They also have their very own culture with folk music and local craft work.
Trying to figure this out. Is it wishful thinking?
Let's make some typical Polish sausages and have a great meal out in the mountains before we say goodbye to Poland here.
That's all for this episode of Wout of the World in Zakopane, in the most beautiful Poland, in the Tatra Mountains. But I'll see you soon as we drive further to Czechia.
Be sure to tune in again on the Europe road trip to Hidden Gems and subscribe to see all the adventure. Ciao!